Christy from IShouldBeMoppingTheFloor.com. This Key Fob Wristlet project is great for using scraps, especially jelly roll fabrics. They're the perfect size. For each key fob, you'll need 2 coordinating fabrics, fusible fleece, key fob hardware, and thread. Like I said, jelly roll fabrics are the jam for these. Their 2.5-inch width is perfect. Just use your ruler and cut them into 12-inch increments, and they're perfect. Even if you don't use jelly rolls, you'll just need to use 12 inches by 2.5 inches for each of your pieces of your key fob fabric. For each wristlet, you'll need 2 pieces of the coordinating fabric, both cut in 12-inch by 2.5-inch increments. You will also need 1 piece of fusible fleece and 11.5 inches by 1 inches per key fob. Take your first piece of fabric and fold it in half lengthwise and head to your sewing machine. Using a basic stitch as well as a small back stitch on the end and beginning, go ahead and sew an entire stitch all the way down, connecting the 2 long sides together. Remember that your pretty side is on the inside. Snip your excess thread at the end, then head to your ironing board and open up that seam and press it really well. You can use a safety pin to help turn this piece right side out now. After you get it right side out, remove the safety pin and go ahead and press it neatly. Try to keep your seam in the middle of your piece. Repeat the same process with your other piece of fabric for your key fob. Go ahead and cut out your fusible fleece into the dimensions we mentioned earlier too. Go ahead and turn over one of your pieces and place your fusible fleece on top of that seam on that piece. My particular brand of fusible fleece requires a press cloth and steam from my iron to adhere it. Go ahead and follow your package directions to adhere your fusible fleece to your fabric. Grab your other piece of fabric and place it seam side down on top of that fusible fleece, making a little sandwich. Take this little sandwich over to your sewing machine. I like to use one color of thread in my bobbin and another color in my spool, so it's different thread on both sides of my finished key fob wristlet. As strange as it sounds, I also like to use a zipper foot because it gives me more control over where I place my seam, but this is just my own preference. I line the larger part of the zipper foot up against the side of the fabric, and I get exactly where I need to sew that seam. Use your basic stitch with about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance up next to the edge. Use a small back stitch at the beginning and the end, and go ahead and sew all the way down the side of your little sandwich. You're going to repeat the process on the other side, sewing it together on both of the edges. After you've sewn both of your edges, be sure to give it a nice press for a really nice finish. The very last part seems the trickiest to me, and it doesn't even involve sewing. You'll need that key fob hardware, which you can find on Amazon or even Etsy, pliers in either needle nose or regular, whichever you prefer, a scrap piece of felt as well, and of course your sewn little wristlet piece. fold your wristlet in half with two of the short ends together. You're going to go ahead and take the piece of the hardware that has kind of the little teeth inside of it and clamp it onto that side. It won't clamp unless you use the pliers, which is why you'll need the scrap piece of felt so you don't scuff up or mark your hardware in any way. Place the felt over that little piece and use your pliers to close these little teeth shut. It takes a little bit of finesse, but after you get used to it, it'll work, I promise. After you're done, give it a good tug to make sure it is secure. You don't want it to come falling off at any time when you're using it. Then go ahead and attach the little ring onto it. I found it was easier to attach the ring after the clamp was already secure. And there you have it, a really fun little key fob wristlet and two cute coordinating fabrics. These make excellent gifts, perfect for new homeowners, teachers, friends, whoever. I've partnered with Habitat for Humanity to bring you this really fun project today. For more details, head to IShouldBeMoppingTheFloor.com.